Something happened after Cota that NASCAR fans cannot stop arguing about. Not because of a crash, not because of a penalty, and not because Tyler Reddick won. It's because of how he won. 3 races, 3 wins, a historic start. Nobody has pulled off before, but now questions are starting to spread through the garage. Questions about speed, questions about performance, questions that could turn one of NASCAR's hottest rivalries into something much bigger. Because according to reports circulating around the garage, not everyone walked away from Circuit of the Americas convinced they saw a normal race. And at the center of it, Tyler Reddick, Shane van Gisbergen, and a conversation NASCAR fans are already fighting over. Was this simply greatness, or are competitors starting to notice something unusual? Let's break down exactly what happened. Cota was supposed to belong to Shane van Gisbergen. Road courses are where SVG becomes dangerous. Everybody knew it. Everybody expected it. Even after starting deeper in the field, SVG did exactly what SVG always does. Move forward, apply pressure, get stronger as the race develops. By the end of stage 1, he had already climbed into contention. Meanwhile, Tyler Reddick wasn't just running well. He was executing perfectly. Strategy, pace, pit timing. Everything looked sharp. Stage 2 changed everything. While some teams focused on stage points, others gambled for track position. Reddick played the long game, giving up short-term gain, thinking bigger, thinking about the win, and that decision completely changed the race. Then came the final stage, the moment fans wanted Tyler Reddick, Shane van Gisbergen head-to-head, one driver chasing history. The other, trying to remind NASCAR who owns road courses. SVG closed in lap after lap, pressure building, fans waiting for one mistake, one opening, one opportunity. It never came. Tyler Reddick stayed perfect. Smooth exits, clean corners. No panic, no errors. Then suddenly SVG stopped gaining. The gap opened, the race changed, and Tyler Reddick crossed the line almost 4 seconds ahead. History made, 3 straight wins. A season start nobody has ever done before. But here's where things get interesting, because according to reports floating around the garage, questions started getting asked. Private conversations, garage rumors, people looking closer. Some insiders claimed frustration was building, not publicly, not officially, but internally. Allegedly, concerns over speed, corner exits, grip levels, performance advantages. To be absolutely clear, NASCAR has announced nothing. No investigation, no official concerns, no penalties, no evidence. Right. Now this remains garage talk. But NASCAR fans know how this works. When somebody starts winning this much, people start looking harder. Especially in modern NASCAR. Especially when somebody starts making history. And Tyler Reddick isn't just winning, he's dominating, which creates pressure. Pressure creates doubt. Doubt creates tension. And tension creates rivalries. Now suddenly, this feels bigger than one road course race. Tyler Reddick versus Shane van Gisbergen isn't only about who drives road courses better. Now it's pride, momentum, respect, championship pressure. Because if Tyler Reddick keeps winning this season, could become legendary. But if questions keep growing, the entire conversation changes. That's why NASCAR fans cannot stop talking about Cota, because sometimes one race changes an entire season, and maybe that's exactly what just happened. So now I want to hear from you. Was Tyler Reddick simply untouchable? Is this competitive frustration from rivals? Or do you think NASCAR fans will keep asking questions? Shane van Gisbergen just got hit with a brutal reality check at Watkins Glen, and honestly, it should terrify anyone expecting him to dominate Sunday's Cup race, because the defending Watkins Glen winner showed up this weekend as the heavy favorite, and instead, he spent most of Friday fighting his own truck, fighting mechanical problems, fighting strategy confusion, and at one point completely falling outside the top 20. Now yes, SVG still finished 3rd, but if you only look at the final result, you completely missed what actually happened. Because underneath that podium finish, there were warning signs everywhere. And the scary part for Trackhouse Racing is this: Sunday's Cup race might be a whole lot harder than people expected. Let's break this down. SVG came into Watkins Glen carrying massive expectations. This is supposed to be his track. Last year, he embarrassed the field. Here, road courses are where Shane van Gisbergen is supposed to dominate NASCAR. That's why this weekend matters so much. 12 races into the 2026 season, SVG sits just 19th in Cup points. Still winless, still searching for momentum, and Trackhouse desperately needs a breakthrough. So what did SVG do? Triple duty truck race, Friday, Xfinity race, Saturday with JR Motorsports Cup race, Sunday with Trackhouse. More laps, more reps, more experience on paper. It sounded smart until Friday exposed some serious problems. SVG qualified 8th for the Truck Series race with Nice Motorsports. The team even built him a custom truck specifically for this weekend. Custom pedals, custom steering setup, everything designed around his driving style. But once the green flag dropped, the race immediately started going sideways. By lap 3, SVG was already making contact in turn 1, then the speed disappeared. By the middle of stage 1, he was 18 seconds behind the leader. 18, for a driver, NASCAR fans call the best road racer in the garage. That's shocking. Then came the mechanical issues, fuel pressure problems, a broken rearview mirror, a dead helmet fan, lack of straight-line speed. At one point, SVG even radioed the team saying the truck felt completely wrong going uphill, and then came the moment that really exposed the chaos. Late caution, big strategy decision, stay out, pit, take tires, track position. His crew chief and spotter couldn't agree. SVG literally got on the radio asking, "What am I doing?" That is not something you want to hear from your driver during a crucial restart, especially not your supposed road course superstar. The confusion dropped him outside the top 20 with only a few laps left. And honestly, at that point, the race looked over. But then SVG reminded everyone why he's still dangerous. Massive crash into turn 1, smoke everywhere, cars spinning, tire barriers exploding, and somehow SVG sliced through the chaos perfectly. Outside top 20 to 11th in one corner, then 7th, then 3rd. Classic Shane van Gisbergen aggression. Classic survival mode, and by the time the checkered flag flew, he somehow salvaged a podium finish. But here's the important part. Listen carefully to what SVG said after the race. "We weren't quite fast enough." That sentence matters, because deep down, SVG knows something felt off. The podium hides the reality he did not have the dominant pace people expected. And now the entire Cup garage just got a massive confidence boost heading into Sunday because drivers like Christopher Bell, Tyler, Reddick, William Byron all just watched the supposed Watkins-Glen favorite struggle badly in traffic. And remember, Watkins-Glen in May is completely different this year. Cooler weather, different grip levels, different tire behavior. Nobody truly knows what works yet. Even SVG admitted this race became more about survival than dominance. Now suddenly the pressure gets massive. Because this isn't just another road course weekend anymore. This might be SVG's best shot to save his season. A win Sunday changes everything. Playoff hopes explode back to life. Momentum returns. Trackhouse breathes again. But if he struggles, then the conversation changes fast. Because for the first time since arriving in NASCAR, people are starting to ask a dangerous question. Was Shane van Gisbergen's road course dominance starting to get figured out? And trust me, after what happened Friday night at Watkins Glen, the entire NASCAR garage will be watching Sunday very differently. What if I told you that Shane van Gisbergen didn't just lose a top 10 finish at Talladega Superspeedway, but got completely wiped out in a crash that some fans are now calling totally avoidable 1 lap to go, everything under control? Then, in less than 3 seconds, his race was over. And the worst part, he never even had a chance. Let's rewind this for a second. SVG, the Kiwi star driving the number 97 for Trackhouse Racing, was having one of his cleanest races of the season. No drama, no mistakes, just smart driving. He was sitting comfortably inside the top 10, exactly where you want to be, at a place like Talladega. Because here's the thing about Talladega. It doesn't matter how perfect your race is. If chaos starts, you're either lucky or you're done. And the chaos. It didn't start on the final lap. It actually started 7 laps earlier. Eric Jones was running strong in 3rd place until Carson Hocevar made contact. A hip check. That one move sent Jones straight into the wall. Boom, caution comes out. And just like that, the entire race gets reset. Now we're down to 3 laps to go. At the front, Chris Buescher versus Carson Hocevar. Behind them, absolute madness building SVG, still sitting in 9th waiting, watching, hoping something opens up. But nothing does. And that's where everything starts to go wrong. Coming to the white flag. The leaders are going at it. Then suddenly, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. gives Buescher a push, but not the good kind. He gets him loose that tiny moment. It hands the win to Hocevar. Just like that, Carson Hocevar takes his first Cup Series win, and while he's celebrating, everything behind him is falling apart. This is where it gets ugly. Ryan Preece loses control. His car snaps sideways right across the track, and directly into the path of Shane van Gisbergen. No time to react. No escape route, then impact. From one side, Preece from the other. Austin Dillon SVG gets sandwiched at full speed. This isn't just a crash. This is one of the most dangerous positions you can be in at Talladega. And in that moment, his radio goes silent. For a few seconds, nobody knows fans, teams, crew, everyone is waiting. Then finally, 3 words come over the radio. I'm okay. That's it. That's what mattered most. But now comes the question that's splitting the NASCAR world. Was this just racing, or could this have been avoided? Because look at the chain reaction. Hocevar's earlier contact, Stenhouse pushing too aggressively, Preece losing control in the pack. At Talladega, one mistake doesn't stay, one mistake. It multiplies, and SVG. He paid the price for everyone else's decisions. Instead of a top 10, Shane van Gisbergen finishes 20th. From a perfect day to a destroyed car in seconds. Meanwhile, Christopher Bell gets caught up. Preece finishes back in 18th, Dillon right behind, and the wreck changes everything. Up front, though, a completely different story. Carson Hocevar is celebrating the biggest moment of his career, hanging out the window, burnout against the wall. A first-time winner at Talladega. For Spire Motorsports, it's a dream. For SVG, it's a nightmare. That's Talladega. It gives everything and takes it away. Just as fast. Shane van Gisbergen did everything right, but at a super speedway, that doesn't guarantee anything, because sometimes your race isn't decided by what you do, it's decided by what happens around you. The real question is, will this change how drivers race these final laps? Or will Talladega chaos just keep claiming more victims? Let me know what you think. Was this just racing, or was someone to blame?